All right, guys, here we're going to talk about the trailer for the movie Dark Phoenix.
How do you feel about this?
So Dark Phoenix potentially could be this amazing thing.
Sure.
We've been, in previous X-Men movies, they've had little teases of things. We've seen bits and bobbles. This being a movie called Dark Phoenix, where we have certain expectations.
We believe they may focus on it this time.
But I wonder how true to the comics they actually can be.
They kind of can't be, right? Because there's not enough setup and not enough whatever.
Well, things could happen very quickly and it not be bad. But I wonder, because Dark Phoenix could be movie one of like a 6-movie thing.
Oh, jeez.
Who made this movie? This was the last Fox one, right? Like before Fox is owned. So I'm wondering if they'll even
I
20th
really
Century
wonder how
Fox
that's gonna-
has
yeah.
an establishment of these younger X-Men going forward and moving
Yeah.
a thing, and they've made like a series with the same actors playing these parts, and things have been pretty good. I think very decently received
Yeah.
at the very least.
I agree.
And I wonder if that's all going to stop now.
Yeah.
If Marvel will continue these things out of a different timeline and things will go forward, because I don't think they're ever going to mix X-Men with like the Avengers, because it doesn't make sense for the world if it happens, and unless it's happening like, oh, our first mutations are showing up right now.
I know.
It would be a really weird thing to introduce. So it might make sense to just continue forward on this separate timeline with things happening
because
where
then
mutants exist.
People are flying around and they're like, "That's not special. What do you mean? We have all these X-Men already. Like, why would you even comment on it?" No, so back in X-Men 2, I think, when Jean is crazy and is like tearing people apart and all that with her mind, I remember people saying, they're trying to do some Dark Phoenix bullshit, but that's not going to work because it's too much. You can't fit it in one movie. It's, what are they doing? This is ruining it. You're ruining it. You're ruining it. I remember all of that. So that's still in my head now, and it's like, we're doing it. I'm like, oh no, is it gonna work?
My favorite parts of Phoenix.
I did not read the whole Phoenix saga, but it's like held up as this amazing.
I love
thing,
the Shi'ar
right?
Empire and things like the alien introduction and all this, and the mutants there and that cool
Yeah.
stuff. And that stuff's so fun and interesting. And if you were to make this into 3 movies, like a Lord of the Rings type thing, I think you could do that. I don't know
think
what
they're
their
doing that,
plan was, because I've not been following this too closely. I really just noticed this was out the other day. I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna watch that.
Well,
but
in Apocalypse, which I maintain was merely mediocre.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what did I say? This movie was kind of a throwback to when movies were bad, and it was like, it's all right, like that sort of thing, because it has like bad stuff.
Yeah.
But I was like, I had fun with this movie, and they kind of tease her like there's more to unlock in your mind and stuff, and there have been rumors that that's what the next thing's going to be. And I like this actress from Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. So this could be good. Hopefully it's the whole team. It's McAvoy, everybody reunited, doing more X-Men stuff. I'm going to put aside any thoughts about how the acquisition by Marvel is going to impact all this. I'm hoping like you, it doesn't really impact it that much.
I would like that. Let's check it out. I don't know.
I like that a lot.
There are parts that
Pardon me?
just feel like a very high production value, like fan-made film. The J-Law makeup has turned into a weird thing. Well, yes, it does look very similar to how she would look in the comics. It doesn't play on her any longer.
No, I've written her off as a complete disaster in this whole thing based on the last couple movies where I'm just like, you don't even want to wear the makeup. You don't even want to be here. What are you doing?
I have to stare at that shit for a minute. Like, something about it, it felt faker than fake.
Well,
and I'm like, is that painted on her after the fact? Like, is that CG
right, so
makeup on her?
Not to be too critical of a beautiful famous person, but yes, like that's the rumor, right? Is she doesn't want to sit in makeup. They're doing like body socks and after work or whatever to compensate for the fact that she's done with that shit. That's what I've heard. I don't know if that's true. I'm sorry if it's not true, but I don't know. That does not ruin the movie for me. Like I said, whenever she's on screen, I'm just like, that shit, and I move on to like other stuff. I'm okay with it.
No, just as something that draws my eye and goes, all right. The quick shots, like Quicksilver being in the movie, I like that. I like.
The whole crew, Storm's in there.
Yeah.
Like from the last time.
Like it's clearly filmed beautifully. Like it looks fine. I don't have big issues with that. It's the trailer and what the trailer conveys and what the story may be that I'm still I'm not 100% sure on, and that's where I think my worry lies, is that not giving me a firm direction as to where this movie is going.
We are not doing, I think, aliens or anything like that.
I don't believe so. No.
So as far as I can tell,
There's a moment with a rocket in space, though.
Okay, yeah, there is a. We are leaving orbit briefly for some reason. I don't know why. It sounds like Xavier did something.
He put a mental block in so that she would.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that from the comics too?
That's in the movies and I believe the comics.
Okay.
So that's the thing they've established.
Is that the original Phoenix thing? Because I didn't even know that.
In the one that I recall, I don't remember that, but it's been quite some time.
Yeah, it sounds like
there's been more than one version of these things, so things kind of blend together.
I think they trimmed it out to be like that was it, where he did this and whatever, and they're kind of like angry at him. I really like I always forget how good Fassbender is, and like
he's great.
His whole thing.
I'm impressed these people keep coming back for more.
I know, like why would you do that? But yes, thank you for doing that because you elevate this material. But his whole thing of like you're always sorry, you always make a speech, nobody cares. Like now we have to do this or whatever, right? We're like they're kind of like Charles, what the fuck? Like I kind of like that whole like mentality or whatever, right? Like, I kind of like that, where he was just like, I'll deal with that later, and then it bubbled up to the surface, and now he can't fix it, right? Where it's like, okay, cool. Because it makes the story kind of about them still, right? Fassbender and McAvoy. So I'm like, okay,
McAvoy also a super talent.
Yeah, exactly.
McAvoy, he said that he would pick up as Picard in Star Trek prequels if they wanted.
What?
And I was like, wow, he'll do anything this man does.
That's amazing.
It is.
He's like, I've already shaved my head. Like, why not? He also remixed Triple X. This man's crazy. Oh, it's amazing. Oh, that's really that alone, thumbs up, makes my day.
And how old is he? Because he's relatively young, right? He's in his 30s.
Oh, is he 30? Okay.
I thought he was in his late 30s. Okay. I actually don't know. I haven't researched the age. But no, the man's young enough that he could do.
Yeah.
His career has so much in front of him.
Yeah.
And he made it past 27, so
so your goal.
He'll be around till he's 100.
Yep, that's canon in the world of Hollywood.
Yeah.
No, this really drew me in. I'm really happy with this. I feel like this will be less busted than Apocalypse. Not the same. Not the same as like the Avengers or Winter Soldier or something where I'm like, damn, how is this possible, right? This will be like fine, but like I think it'll be good, better than Apocalypse, and like harkening back to cool X-Men stuff where I go like, thank you for being different. Thank you for being a friend.
I think the further you get in time period, things are going to keep getting better because the game gets stepped up. So if things are not a garbage fire, they're going to be better than things before them. And I think that's going to keep being the case because every year technology is better. Every year we require more of a movie because we're like, well, TV does this stuff. Why can't you do this stuff in movies? Shouldn't movies be better? I thought that was the higher medium, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
And like, budgets get more and more ridiculous. And just, I can't see things taking a step back really ever in these high box office type movies. Like they're either going to be, oh, you pushed too far and you made it shit, or you've made things amazing. So like, and I think it's going to be very difficult to make utter dog shit out of any of these type of properties. I do think Apocalypse, shit the bed a little bit.
Well, at this point, it's when stuff's like a mess, or when you end up with like in Apocalypse, there were a few sequences that just looked like they didn't make sense or they were trashy.
Yes.
And there were certain actors or actresses where it's like you are cutting around the fact that this person did not deliver, or you don't have coverage of this properly. Like the epitome of this, I think, is still Batman vs Superman, maybe Suicide Squad, where you're like, oh no, how did this happen? And like the answer is like, okay, here's my 18-page essay on how did this happen with like fucking the studio. And arguing, and we had to fire a guy and get a new guy, and we re-edited it or something. So like I understand, but like everything's gonna keep looking better and better. So now my only concern is when it's a hot mess, and like hopefully, unless this trailer somehow gathered together a hot mess into like a cohesive thing, like there's no new characters that I have to worry about. Maybe you're gonna suck or whatever. There's no scenes where I go like, how could that be in this movie? Is this movie just a carnival ride of idiocy? Right? There's no, I feel good about the trailers. I should say.
About the same thing that makes it feel good are the things that worry me. Whenever you have so many characters to deal with and on set at any time, that things have either your trouble is you don't ever get into certain characters, or it's like in trying to get into all these characters, you forced fake relationships, or you did this or that, or like why'd you cut to him when we want to know about this? This is what's important. Why are you cutting to this person? Like type of stuff. And again, to judge all that on a 2-minute trailer, hard to say any of that could happen. But I'm very curious. Of course, I want to see this. The trailer is effective by just being a black card that says Dark Phoenix. I would want to see this. So the trailer didn't have a lot that it had to do to make me to get my butt in the seat type of deal.
I'm like my nervousness has been like reduced. Where I was very concerned maybe that this would be not good, or like, you know, because like you never know looking forward how the like charts are gonna go. Maybe like Apocalypse will be like the good one, and then they just like took a nosedive or something, right? They got acquired and like ignored and like starved of money and talent, and they just kept getting shittier and shittier forever, right? And maybe we'll look back and think that or whatever. So seeing this makes me go like, oh, okay, no, this looks like it's gonna be cool, right? I'm like happy.
Of the X-Men trailers, though, this is not my favorite. Like, if you think back to all the different trailers that they've put out
as soon as I see the movie, I forget the trailer forever.
Well, I don't. And like just to compare all the trailers, this one doesn't grab me the same way some of the other ones have.
Yeah.
But again, I still want to see the movie. Well, at the very least, to understand what their take on the Dark Phoenix saga is going to be. Let us know in the comments below what you want to see. Don't die in a fire, and we'll see you next time.
Hello, internets. I just love watching JustDaggers. If you've enjoyed this video as much as I have, click that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.